And he appointed 12, so that they would be with him and that he could send them out to preach. Mark chapter 3 verse 14. The apostles of Jesus were not just disciples. They were chosen for a divine mission, carrying Christ's message to the world and laying the foundations of Christianity. Each played a crucial role in spreading the faith, facing unimaginable challenges and often paying the ultimate price. Have you ever wondered what happened to them after Jesus' ascension? How did they die? Today, we will explore the fates of the 12 apostles, whose lives and deaths were marked by mystery, sacrifice, and courage. The accounts of the apostles' deaths are found in documents that are not part of the Bible. Many of these stories were transmitted orally, becoming traditions that vary in details. There are discrepancies in ancient documents, which makes some stories more accepted than others. Therefore, we will use what is accepted by most people and historians. 1 Peter, the first pope and cornerstone of the Catholic Church, was originally a humble fisherman, known for his impulsive and fervent temperament. One of the most emblematic passages in Peter's life is his confession of faith in Jesus as the Christ, the Son of the living God, to which Jesus replied, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." Matthew chapter 16 verse 18. This crucial moment not only highlighted Peter's leadership but also established the spiritual foundations for the church that was to come. Peter played a vital role in the Council of Jerusalem, where he advocated for the inclusion of Gentiles in the church without requiring them to follow all Jewish traditions, as reported in Acts 15. This decision was crucial for the expansion of Christianity beyond the borders of Israel. His journey of faith and leadership culminated in Rome, where, according to tradition, he was crucified upside down because he considered himself unworthy to die in the same manner as Jesus. Before his death, Peter also wrote letters that are now part of the New Testament, urging Christians to maintain their faith amidst persecution and to live holy lives. St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican marks the place where he is believed to be buried, symbolizing his crucial role in the foundation of the Church. His death was a testimony to his total dedication to Christ, even in the face of death, and his life continues to inspire millions of Christians around the world. 2. Andrew, Peter's brother, was also a fisherman and had a significant influence on the Christianization of Greece. He was the first of the apostles to be called by Jesus, as recorded in John chapter 1 verses 40 to 42. Andrew quickly brought his brother Peter to meet the Messiah, showing from the beginning his willingness to share the good news. Andrew traveled extensively to spread the teachings of Jesus, often facing severe persecutions. His dedication took him to distant places like Asia Minor and the Black Sea, where he continued to convert many souls to Christianity. He is often credited with founding the Church of Byzantium, which later became Constantinople, and is now known as Istanbul. His fervent preaching annoyed the Roman Empire, resulting in his crucifixion on an X-shaped cross. This cross, also known as St. Andrew's Cross, became a symbol of humility and sacrifice. He was tied, not nailed, to the cross to prolong his suffering and serve as an example of his unwavering faith. During 2 days of agony, Andrew continued to preach to those passing by, inspiring many to follow Christianity. 3. Bartholomew, also known as Nathanael, was a man from Galilee and a friend of Philip. Initially, he was skeptical of anyone coming from Nazareth, including Jesus. However, after being introduced by Philip and meeting Jesus, Bartholomew quickly recognized Christ as the Son of God. Jesus, in turn, praised him as a true Israelite, in whom there is no deceit, John chapter 1 verse 47, demonstrating Bartholomew's integrity. His death is shrouded in mystery, and there are 2 main versions. In the first, he was flayed alive and crucified in Armenia after converting the local king to Christianity, enraging the king's brother. This version is widely accepted, and Bartholomew is often depicted in sacred art holding his own skin, a symbol of his martyrdom. In the second version, he was beheaded by order of the same vengeful brother. In addition to his brutal death, There are reports that Bartholomew brought the Gospel to India, where he left a copy of the Gospel of Matthew that he had translated into a local language. These accounts of his life and death exemplify his unwavering faith and courage, solidifying his position as one of Christianity's most revered martyrs. 4. Philip preached in Hierapolis, Turkey, where tradition says he died of natural causes. However, an apocryphal book, Acts of Philip, suggests he was crucified upside down after converting the wife of a Roman proconsul. This act enraged the proconsul, who ordered his death. Philip's dedication to preaching was such that even during his crucifixion, he continued to encourage those present to follow Christ. Philip is remembered for his contributions to early Christianity and his unwavering dedication. He played an important role in the feeding of the 5,000 when Jesus tested him on where to buy bread for the crowd, as reported in John chapter 6 verses 5 to 7. His response revealed his practical concern and also provided an opportunity for Jesus to perform one of his most famous miracles. Additionally, Philip was the one who introduced a group of Greeks to Jesus, showing his openness and desire to bring the gospel to all people, regardless of their backgrounds. 5. James the Greater. Jesus had 2 apostles named James, so to avoid confusion, let's now talk about James the Greater, son of Zebedee. James the Greater, the older brother of John, was a key figure in early Christianity. He is the only apostle whose death is recorded in the Bible, being martyred by Herod Agrippa I, king of Judea. His martyrdom, recorded in Acts chapter 12 verse 2, highlights his importance and dedication. James was part of Jesus' inner circle, along with Peter and John, and was present at crucial moments such as the Transfiguration and the agony in Gethsemane. His closeness to Jesus underscores his significance among the apostles and his deep understanding of Christ's mission. After his death, his remains were taken to Santiago de Compostela, Spain, originating the famous pilgrimage known as the Camino de Santiago. This spiritual journey, still undertaken by many today, is a lasting tribute to his faith and leadership, symbolizing the enduring impact of his ministry. 6. John, the Evangelist. He was the younger brother of James the Greater, known as the Beloved Disciple, who wrote the 4th Gospel, which portrays the story of Jesus. He is also often associated with the Book of Revelation, though there is controversy among scholars about this fact. Whether or not he wrote the Book of Revelation is a mystery, but his apocalyptic visions continue to fascinate and terrify scholars and believers alike. John was known for his deep spirituality and his focus on love, which is the central theme of his writings. In his letters, he often exhorted Christians to love one another, as Christ loved them. His famous phrase, "God is love," 1 John chapter 4 verse 8, encapsulates the essence of his message and is one of the most powerful declarations in the New Testament. After Jesus' death, he took care of Mary, Jesus' mother, fulfilling the mission that Jesus entrusted to him on the cross. "Behold, your mother," John chapter 19 verse 27. There are 2 versions of his death. One claims he died of natural causes at the age of 100. Another suggests he was taken up to heaven, like the prophet Elijah. John is also considered the last of the apostles to die, marking the end of an era in the early church. 7. Thomas. Also known as Didymus, Thomas's life was marked by doubt and faith. After Jesus' resurrection, his disbelief upon hearing that Christ had risen earned him the famous nickname, Doubting Thomas. However, upon seeing and touching Jesus' wounds, he proclaimed his faith with the declaration, "My Lord and my God." John chapter 20 verse 28. This statement became one of the strongest confessions of faith in Christianity, illustrating Thomas's transformation from a doubter to a fervent believer. Thomas took the gospel far and wide, preaching in Syria, Persia, and most notably, in India. It was in India that he met his end, martyred by local soldiers while evangelizing. The Mar Thoma Church in India claims its origins from Thomas's preaching, and his memory is deeply revered among Indian Christians. The site where he was martyred, known as St. Thomas Mount in Chennai, remains an important pilgrimage destination. 8. Matthew, also known as Levi, was a tax collector in Capernaum before following Jesus, an occupation despised among the Jews. His transformation from publican to apostle is a powerful testimony of the forgiveness and redemption offered by Christ. After Jesus' ascension, Matthew preached to the Hebrews and, according to Eusebius, wrote his gospel in Hebrew, spreading it through Ethiopia and Persia. Matthew is particularly remembered for his gospel, which was written for a Jewish audience and highlights Jesus as the fulfillment of messianic prophecies. His account of Jesus' genealogy, beginning with Abraham, is an attempt to connect Jesus' lineage with the promise made to David, reinforcing Christ's messianic identity. Accounts of his death vary. Some traditions say he was martyred, either stoned or beheaded, while others suggest he died of natural causes. His dedication to evangelization and recording Jesus' teachings makes him a central figure in early Christianity, and his work continues to be an essential reference for the Christian faith. 9. James the Less, also known as Saint James the Less, was the son of Alphaeus and an important leader in the early Church of Jerusalem. Known for his piety and devotion, he was called James the Just. He was instrumental in leading the Council of Jerusalem, where he defended the position that Gentile converts to Christianity did not need to observe the entirety of Jewish law, marking a crucial turning point in church history. According to Clement of Alexandria, he was thrown from the temple in Jerusalem and beaten to death. His leadership and sacrifice exemplify his unwavering commitment to the Christian faith, making him a revered figure among early Christians. He is often remembered as a model of justice and righteousness, whose zeal for God's law was matched only by his love for his neighbor. 10. Jude Thaddeus, also known as Thaddeus or Labius, is remembered for his fervent devotion and deep questions. During the Last Supper, he asked Jesus, "Lord, why do you intend to show yourself to us and not to the world?" John chapter 14 verse 22. This question reflects Jude Thaddeus's desire to understand the divine purpose and Jesus' mission, highlighting his inquisitive nature and deep desire to comprehend the mysteries of faith. After Jesus' ascension, Jude Thaddeus preached the gospel in various regions, including Judea, Syria, Mesopotamia, and Libya. According to Armenian tradition, he was martyred around 65 AD in Beirut, alongside Simon the Zealot. His tireless dedication and tragic death made him a symbol of faith and courage in early Christianity. Today, he is invoked as the patron saint of lost causes, and many faithful seek his intercession in times of despair. 11. Simon the Zealot. He evangelized in Persia with Jude Thaddeus. He met a tragic end, being sawn in half. His fervent dedication to Christianity is remembered with reverence, despite the scant information about his life. Simon, known as the Zealot for his religious fervor, may have been a member of a revolutionary group that sought Israel's liberation from Roman rule before becoming a follower of Christ. His transformation from a revolutionary zealot to a peacemaker and preacher of the gospel exemplifies the transformative power of an encounter with Jesus. Despite the limited details about his life, his brutal death and unwavering dedication to the faith highlight his importance in spreading Christianity. 12. Judas Iscariot. He is infamous for his betrayal of Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, an act that culminated in Christ's crucifixion. Motivated by misunderstandings or disagreements about Jesus' mission, Judas handed over his master to the Jewish authorities. Many Gospels say that the devil entered Judas, as in the books of John and Luke. After the act, consumed by remorse, he tried to return the silver and ended up hanging himself, as reported in the Gospel of Matthew. His betrayal is one of the darkest episodes in the New Testament, symbolizing the struggle between guilt and redemption. The figure of Judas Iscariot has been the subject of intense reflection and debate over the centuries. Some modern scholars suggest that Judas may have had more complex intentions and that his betrayal might have been related to a misunderstanding of the kind of kingdom Jesus was establishing. Regardless of his motivations, Judas's legacy is a grim warning about the dangers of ambition, misunderstanding, and unresolved guilt. His story remains one of the most tragic and enigmatic aspects of the gospel narrative. Each apostle played a crucial role in spreading Christianity, leaving legacies that continue to inspire. To this day, their stories are a powerful testimony of the sacrifice and courage that faith can inspire. And you, did you know the tragic fate of the 12 apostles of Jesus? Which death shocked you the most? Comment below, and don't miss our next video, where we will explore the 7 seals of the apocalypse. Now on your screen are 2 more videos about mysteries beyond the Bible. Choose one of them and see you there.